Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into an interesting topic, the idea of sharpness versus dullness, both in character and approach to life. Recently, there's been a lot of talk about why some people believe that having a duller personality might actually be more beneficial than being sharp. What do you think about this, B?
It's a fascinating concept, eh? At first glance, sharpness seems like the obvious trait to strive for. I mean, sharp people can cut through problems, solve issues quickly, and get things done efficiently, right? But then, the idea that dullness has its own strengths, like being more resilient and less likely to get stuck, is worth considering. It's almost like when you're drilling a hole. A sharp tool cuts quickly but can get clogged, whereas a dull tool might take longer but won't get stuck. What's your take?
Yeah, I see the analogy. It reminds me of how we often approach our own personalities. We hear so much about needing to be sharp, decisive, quick thinking, always on the move, but just like that dull tool, a slower, more careful approach can sometimes avoid those pitfalls of rushing into things, only to realize you've hit a dead end. It's about balance, right? Like, you don't need to change yourself entirely, just refine how you use your own traits. What about the idea that people who are sharp can't just aim to become dull, though? Do you think there's any merit in that?
That's a great point. If someone is naturally sharp, trying to force themselves to be dull might not only feel unnatural, but could also lead to frustration. The key might be to recognize that each personality, whether sharp or dull, has a role to play. The sharp person can focus on precision and speed, but the dull one, as you said, can work slowly but steadily without getting overwhelmed. And maybe it's about knowing when to employ which trait. What do you think about those who argue that trying to constantly sharpen yourself in everything may lead to burnout?
I think they have a valid point. It's easy to push ourselves to be constantly sharp, especially in today's fast-paced world, but that's not sustainable. If we overexert ourselves, we might miss the deeper value of patience and careful consideration, qualities often found in those who seem less urgent or sharp. So, it's not about becoming dull, but more about understanding the rhythm of life, knowing when to move fast and when to slow down. In a way, this brings us to the classic tale of the tortoise and the hare.
Ah, yes. That's an interesting comparison. The story of the tortoise and the hare often gets interpreted as a lesson in slow and steady winning the race. But if you think about it deeper, the hare wasn't necessarily wrong for being fast. He just didn't manage his energy well, right? The tortoise, on the other hand, wasn't trying to outrun the hare, but just kept moving forward at his own pace. Maybe the real lesson is about playing to your strengths and not comparing yourself to others. It's about finding your own rhythm.
Exactly. And that's what makes this so important to understand in life. People tend to think that they should always be the fastest, the sharpest, or the most successful in a traditional sense. But the truth is, there's a unique strength in moving at your own pace, being consistent, and not getting distracted by others' journeys. The tortoise didn't worry about the hare's speed, he focused on his own progress.
And that's a mindset we can apply to almost everything. It's not about competing or comparing yourself to others, but about being the best version of yourself. Whether you're sharp or dull, fast or slow, it's about how you use your traits in a way that works for you. Embracing your own pace allows for deeper learning and growth.
And ultimately, whether you're the sharp tool or the dull one, the goal isn't to avoid clogging or setbacks. It's about understanding that setbacks are part of the process, and as long as you keep moving with purpose, you'll find your way. The key is precision and clarity in your own approach, not trying to imitate someone else's.
So true. The important thing is to stay true to who you are, avoid unnecessary comparisons, and use your unique qualities to your advantage. If we do that, we'll likely find that we can accomplish what we set out to do, whether fast or slow, sharp or dull.
Absolutely, and I think that's a great place to wrap up today's conversation. Whether you're sharp or dull, slow or fast, remember to stay true to yourself. What matters most is consistency, patience, and knowing when to push forward and when to take a step back.
Well said. Until next time, everyone. Keep refining your approach and never forget to embrace your strengths.